We're going to talk about the different shotgun shells I've used. So cheap shotgun shells for your cheap guns. Now, whenever we have these ammo shortages and that for years on end, and the last one was worse, you get a lot of stuff showing up on the market you never heard of. So I was going around just randomly buying 12 gauge shotgun shells. All the 3-inch ones I got were a brand name, Federal or something like that. I really didn't find any foreign ones. This here, Federally, we'll start with this one. I bought a couple boxes of this. Whatever this is, we'll take a look at them. These did work well, okay. High brass, double-aught buckshot, and they're pretty consistent. They got a nice crimp on them, and didn't give me a bit of trouble, okay. They worked in the semi-autos. Now usually these shells will have the velocity on there, and I'll show you that on the other boxes. These particular ones did not. I've never heard of this brand. Let me see here. These were made in Russia. It says so on the box. So these are Russian made. They're, they looked a lot better than some of the other ones, and they worked. I forget what I paid for them, but no velocity on the box. Then we had two types of this YTR Troy, okay, and these are made in the USA, somewhere in Florida, okay, is where the company is. They don't have a velocity also on the box. And what I got a few of these, and I tested these out. This is double-aught buckshot I got here, and it's a roll crimp with a clear view on there, high brass. These worked well in all the semi-autos. And I believe I bought some slugs. Black, yeah. Slugs. Again, roll crimp, 2 3/4 inch. And these did cycle the semi-autos. Okay. Doesn't say what weight slug. It's got to be a 1 ounce. But again, unusual brand, and they did work though. But I did see a video where a guy was loading something like this into a shotgun, and when he put it in there, you heard this sound. The shotgun shell itself opened up and the buckshot just rolled out the barrel. But these did work. They weren't that terrible. Now also, you were getting all these other off-the-wall brands. Lambro, Guardian shot shells. And these are made in Greece. Okay, Greek shotgun shells. And these come in a box of 25, 2 3/4, and now I'm finding out, just for your information, 1,325 feet per second. These did work in the semi-autos, and this will be kind of critical, and this is a partial box. Okay, but the Greek shells, again, they look very similar to the Troys. They have a deep roll crimp, high brass, and with that clear cap on there. So I believe these Troys are foreign-made shells. They just say they're imported. But these worked fine in the Titan. They worked good in Deluxe G-Force Deluxe 99 he's worked, I believe. I have to go back and look at the videos. But I only had a few of them. I used them up and I kind of saved them. But these were the ones that were getting all tore up, dented and bent in the bullpup shotgun, the Centurion. And also another thing I noticed, this edge here on a lot of these, the brass edge, kind of has a little bit of a lip, and when you're loading them into a clip magazine for the semi-autos or the AR-15 styles, sometimes the rim will get caught on that and you got to like wiggle the cartridge around to get it in. But in the Titan and in the pump that uses lifter arm, these shells work great. And I forget the prices on all of these, but these are all right. And there were several other brands I've never heard of that I didn't try. Now we're going to go to what I bought here. And I bought these, and I know the price on these. All of these were 80 cents a piece. Generally, your shot cartridges, much like these Oilin, these are the military brand. These work really great. I like these, but on a good day you get them at $1 a piece, and I think I paid $1. I bought these just, I didn't realize what the price was, so I rang it up. It was well over $1. But this is probably the best shotgun shell you could buy, but they are expensive, okay, over $1. So I went with the Fiocchi Dynamic Defense or something. This is kind of loaded down. Now you notice $12.50 compared to the $13.25. This will not cycle in any of the semi-automatic Turkish shotguns. Okay? It doesn't. And I bought a case of it. Some of this I may have at my virtual garage sale here coming up. But again, I believe this says Fiocchi USA. It says it's made in the US, but I know they have a factory. Low brass, kind of can see through, you see the buckshot in there. But the crimp is deep. It's kind of like they're making a crimped shotgun shell on machinery that's set up to make this deep roll crimp somehow. Something weird, because these shells are, you know, like some of them, they get funny looking, but they work. They don't fall apart, and some of them will have a really uneven edge. But 80 cents a piece. And they pattern, actually, after I honed out the pump, these things pattern well. But be warned, and again, most modern shot shell makers are not giving you express or dram, they give you the velocity on the box. And $12.50 ain't hacking it. And all these other ones are $13.25. So if you buy one of the semi-automatic shotguns, that's what you should be looking for. And these were available for 80 cents a piece, but if you're firing any of the semi-autos, avoid these cartridges. It's another one. These are slugs. And that's what I was shooting the other day here. And these are $13.75 in the velocity. Okay? 2 3/4 shells. And it doesn't say the weight, but I believe it's probably just a 1 ounce slug. These were the ones that I just had one of them hang up in the pump. And it's probably the shell itself. These don't look too bad. They're pretty uniform. The crimp is good. It's a Forester style slug, so you can fire it in them Turk guns and it shouldn't bother anything. But again, quality. And I don't know where these are made. Gotta see, and that's another thing you gotta watch. I didn't know some of these shells were made in Greece. Doesn't say where they were made, so something to be wary. Okay, again, 80 cents a piece, not a bad deal. They all somewhat went off for me. All right. Next up is we have the Rio shells. I got two types. I got number 4 buck and double aught buck, about a case of each. These particular shells are manufactured in Spain. The Rios are made in Spain, okay? And if you notice, 1345 on both of them for the velocity. 1345. So I got number 4 buck and double aught buck. The shells themselves, I don't want to break the seal on these. Okay, I got one of these out of the box. Construction on these is pretty good. Again, roll crimp with a plastic top, it's pretty common. But they're fairly uniform. They look like they're, you know, halfway decent quality, unlike the Fuyoshis. And they work good, okay? I haven't had any hang-ups. These things work in all the semi-autos, and of course the pump. And again, 80 cents a piece when you buy them by the case. And a lot of people, you know, because you're looking for like 10 or 5 round packs. But when you get them by the case, 80 cents a piece, which isn't terrible. That's when I bought them. And sometimes you catch them on a sale. Sometimes you'll find people selling them for $1 a piece. Okay? So there's a lot of weird brands out there that you can catch a sale or flash sale and pick them up fairly reasonable. But that's the roundup on what I've used here. And like I said, the going rate, buying by the case, was 80 cents a piece, but that may change. But that's the whole assortment of these things from Greece, Russia, I don't know, unknown, Fuyoshi, USA. Okay, so that's the deal. I'd avoid these Fuyoshis, okay, and then go with something at 1345 and it'll work in a pump, it'll work in your semi-autos. Alright guys, that's my thing on the shotgun shells I've used and what's out there. You know, you might have to hunt around, or like I said, you catch a flash sale or you catch some of the online places ain't charging you sales tax. Okay, you don't know that till the checkout, but some of these I got a deal on because they didn't charge me sales tax. Alright guys, hit the like button, subscribe, and stay tuned.